Welcome to another Odds HQ NBA betting preview video for Tuesday, August 25th. I'm Ian Cameron. We have two Western Conference quarterfinal matchups. In this video, we're going to talk about the Utah Jazz taking on the Denver Nuggets. The Jazz looking to play some sweet music, some great tunes, and send the Denver Nuggets packing as they look to clinch this series. Utah leading 3-1 entering Game 5 on Tuesday night. The Utah Jazz 3-point favorites, 221 the total in this game. The Denver Nuggets, their defense has been so bad that you've got to take the letter D out of their name. To me, they're now the Enver Nuggets, and they deserve to be called the Enver Nuggets because they are lacking the D right now. And what I mean by D is in defense. What I have seen from the Denver Nuggets, seriously, I've been watching sports now for 30 plus years. And I've been watching basketball for many of those years. I don't know if I've seen a more disastrous, atrocious, couldn't give a care from one team in terms of playing defense as I've seen from the Denver Nuggets in this series, plain and simple. I mean, they have been absolutely dreadful. Their defense has been absolutely non-existent at any point so far in this series. In Game 4, in the first 4 games, of this series combined, Denver's given up 51.6% shooting to the Utah Jazz. 51.6%. That's not a one-game sample size. That's not a one-quarter sample size. That is a 4-game swatch that Denver is allowing Utah to shoot more than 50% from the field. That's just simply abysmal. And Michael Maloney's tried different things. He's tried different starting rotations, different combinations, anything he can think of to try to shore up this sieve defense that he's got from this Denver Nuggets team, and really nothing's working. I mean, he put Monte Morris and Jeremy Grant in the lineup to start the game the other night, and put Michael Porter Jr. and Paul Millsap off the bench, and still bad defense. 57.5% shooting overall from the Utah Jazz in Game 4. 57.5%, 51.3% overall for the series, and 43% for the series from three-point range. I mean, just a total lack of concern for playing any lick of defense from this team. They're not guarding their man. They're not contesting shots. They're not switching. Their defensive rotations are not where they need to be. There's breakdowns left and right. It's just got all the ingredients you need for a team playing poorly on the defensive end of the basketball court. There is potentially some good news on the horizon for Denver, and that Gary Harris, who's one of their best defenders, especially on the perimeter, he might be ready to return from injury here for this pivotal Game 5 on Tuesday night, but that's not certain by any stretch of the imagination. As far as the Utah Jazz go, they deserve credit for leading this series 3-1. I mean, you can talk all you want about Denver hasn't played well. You know, they've relied a lot on Jokic and Murray. They haven't necessarily gotten their bench to step up like Utah has. We know Donovan Mitchell's had a great series for the Jazz, but you got to give Jordan Clarkson, Rudy Gobert credit. They've played very well the last couple of games. And Mike Conley, since returning to the team, the point guard has been absolutely terrific in the 2 straight games, showing you that, that ability to raise his game, to a playoff level. All those years in Memphis with Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol. Remember all those great Memphis Grizzlies teams? Mike Conley was a big part of that, and he played well in the postseason back in his Memphis days. So he's kind of rewinding the clock here and showing you he can still play at a pretty high level in the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell, what else can you say? I mean, 39.5 points per game in this series. He's eclipsed 50 points in 2 of those games. Rudy Gobert has just been really cleaning up inside, back-to-back double-double performances for him. And he's really caused Nikola Jokic some duress in the low post. The Jazz, like I say, they've gotten more from their bench, which has been good news for them. Utah deserves to be up 3-1 in this series. They've been the better team. And, unfortunately for Utah backers, you probably deserved a better fate with your ticket in Game 4. They should have covered the number, and unfortunately it was a last-second three-pointer by Jamal Murray to allow Denver to get the money as a +3 underdog, and it ended up only a 2-point Utah win, 129-127. Here's the biggest thing you've got to handicap in really not only this game and this series, but any series that's 3-1. can you count on the team down 3-1 to fight? Are they just going to roll over when things start to go south? And that's really something you can actually look at too in terms of live betting. If you're watching this game and you see Denver come out strong, and then maybe third quarter Utah goes up by 10, do you get a response from Denver still when they're down by 10? Or do they just, we're down 3-1, we're down by 10 points in this game. Do we just mail it in and call it quits? Well, Mike Malone, the head coach of Denver, seems to think his team is coming to play, and I have to agree with him. I mean, they didn't roll over in Game 4. They didn't win Game 4, but the effort was a lot better. The urgency was a lot better. The desperation level was a lot better. But in the end, it wasn't a lack of energy or a lack of effort as to why Denver lost Game 4. Again, they couldn't get stops, and that's been their problem pretty much this entire series. But a good quote here from Malone after the Game 4 loss saying, "We aren't going to roll over. We're going to fight." And I was really encouraged after the game after a tough loss down 3-1. There's no quit in our team. Those guys are fired up. They're ready to get back out there and play Game 5 and try to stretch and extend this series. I think you're going to get Denver coming to play. I thought Denver would win this series, and it looks like, barring a 3-game win streak here for the Nuggets, I'm going to be wrong with that. I think they're going to be intense. I think they're going to have that sense of urgency as they did in Game 4. I agree with Michael Malone. I don't think they're going to roll over. This is a team that got to the second round against Portland last year. I can't see them mailing it in. With Jamal Murray, who's a very big-time competitor. Nikola Jokic has had another great season. I can't see these guys just all of a sudden rolling over here in this series. I do think they bring it, but can they bring it defensively? Because if they don't, and it's the same old Nuggets defense, they're probably not going to win this game. Definitely keep your eye on Gary Harris, see if he's back. As far as the side is concerned, I would lean to Denver +3. Not a strong opinion there for me, but I do think you're going to get them bringing the fight. They're not going to just roll over in this series. So I lean a little bit to Denver, but my stronger betting opinion on this game is definitely the over at 221. I think this game is going to very good chance to go over the total. Both of these teams have been trending over the total. Utah 8-2 to the over in their last 10 games. Denver 21-7-1 to the over in their last 29 games. And both of these teams flawed on the defensive end of the court. And both of these teams loaded with offensive confidence right now. Denver has had no problem putting up points, and definitely Utah has had no problem hitting threes and putting up big points in this series. I see that continuing. And again, if this game is close late, and especially if Denver's trailing, season on the line, they might foul down 5, 6, 7 points in the latter stages, which always helps anybody that's betting over in a particular game. So I lean to Denver, but the official recommendation for this game will be Utah-Denver over 221. We'll go with that here on my Odds HQ NBA betting preview video on Wednesday, August 25th for Game 5 between the Utah Jazz and Denver Nuggets. I'm Ian Cameron. Thanks for watching. Reminder to check out odds.com every day for great sports betting content. And make sure you're subscribed to the Odds HQ YouTube channel. Great live shows and videos from a sports betting perspective every day there. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the games and good luck. And I'll be back with you on Wednesday for another Odds HQ NBA betting preview video.